right, so today we're going to be talking about functions and actually writing them up. So to warm up, do the first two problems on the screen, and then we'll get started. All right, so the first one, we want the value of y, or y is 6 less than 3 times the value of x. So this is our equals, so y is 6 less would be minus 6, then 3 times the value of x, so 3 times x. So you'll get 3x minus 6 right here. So then 2 less than the quotient of 12 and h is k. So we're going to have equal k, where k equals 2 less, so minus 2, than the quotient of 12 and h, so 12 divided by h, so 12 over h minus 2. Here we go. So what even are relations? So relations pairs one set of numbers with another set of numbers, or sets of stuff. You could pair other things too. In science, you call this inputs and outputs. In math, we sometimes use the terms x values for the inputs and y values for the outputs. They mean the same thing here. So in a coordinate xy here, the domain is a set of all x values, so your inputs, and the range is this y, your y values. So what is domain and range of this following relation? So domain, this is all your x's, range is all your y's. So we're going to list these out. Here I'm going to list them in order from smallest to biggest. So if we're looking at these are 2, 3, -2, 2, and 6. So -2 is going to go first. Then we have 2 2's. You only need to list each thing once. We have a 3 and then a 6. So this would be the domain. The range then is the same idea, but the y values. So the smallest y value is 4. And then there's 5 and 9. So there's your domain and range for this function. So you try, take some time, look at these, and write out the domain and range. So pause the video and try these on your own. All right, so the domain of the first one, again, all of your x values. You have 10, 6, 2, -1, 6, 3, and 4. If we list these in order, you'll have -1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. Range is your y values. If we list all of those out, you'll have -3, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. Same idea for the next one. 6, 7, 2, -1, 4, 3, and 5 are your domain. So if you list those out in order, you'll get -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Range would be 8, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 7. And list those, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. All right, so using a mapping diagram. A mapping diagram just shows you in a visual where the domain values go. So here, 2 would go to 5, but you're going to do it in a picture. So you list your domain. Here we have -2, 2, 3, and 6, and then list your range. So you have 4, 5, and 9. And then you just draw arrows showing where everything goes. So here if we have 2 going to 5, you draw an arrow from 2 to 5. And then 3 goes to 4, so an arrow from 3 to 4. -2 goes to 9, and 6 goes to 4. So this would be our mapping diagram. All right, so you try on this one. Figure out the domain and range, and then draw the diagram. All right, so the domain, you should get -1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. Your range is -3, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. So if you list those out, we have -1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. -3, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. And then you want to draw your arrows. So 10 goes to 2. And then we have 6 going to -3. 2 goes to 5. -1 goes to 2, 6 goes to 1, 3 goes to 3, and 4 goes to 7. And this would be your mapping diagram. So now that we've written out some expressions and some relations, we want to figure out, well, which of those are functions? So a function means each input value, so each x that you're putting into the function maps to exactly one output. So if we're looking at these examples here, 5 goes to only 0, 1 goes to only -1, 2 goes to only 4. Each of these x values or inputs has only one output. So this would be a function. Here, if we look at -2, this one goes to 6 and it goes to -9. So it goes to two things. That's not possible if it's a function. So this is not a function. All right, so here's two mapping diagrams and decide which of these is a function. So looking at this one, we can check 13 only goes to 1, 0 only goes to 1, -8 only goes to 1. This one is a function. Looking over here, 4 is fine, 8 is fine, but 11 right here goes to two of them, and that's not okay. So this is not a function. So if you don't have a mapping diagram like this and you're just looking at a graph, there is a way to test if it's a function or not. This is called the vertical line test. So an easy way to check is to just draw a vertical line. If it hits the curve in two places or more, then it's not a function. So if you look at this first one, I can keep drawing vertical lines, and no matter where I draw them, they're only ever hitting one spot on the graph. So it's fine. This one is a function. If I draw a line on this one, well, right there, I hit twice. So this is not a function. And that's it for this one. So go on to Math Excel and do the 4.6.1 work.